This is the story of a war fought not with armies, but with steel, stone, and an almost unbelievable amount of ambition. It's the story of a secret battle for the skies of New York. In the early 20th century, the fight for the city's soul wasn't happening on the streets, but thousands of feet in the air. This was the race to the sky, a fierce competition to build the world's tallest building, and in the process create a skyline that would become a global symbol of power and progress. It's a tale of bitter rivalries, incredible innovation, and the creation of icons that would forever define New York City, the Roaring Twenties. Post-war America was booming, and nowhere was that boom louder than in New York. It was the financial capital of the world, a city drunk on its own success, where fortunes were made overnight and ambition was everything. The city was bursting at the seams, and the only direction left to grow was up. Fueled by new technologies like steel frame construction and the safety elevator, architects weren't just putting up buildings anymore, they were making statements, piercing the clouds to prove just how far they could go. Before the great race truly began, there were titans, buildings that, for their time, seemed to scrape the heavens. In 1913, the Woolworth Building was finished. At 792 feet, it was the tallest building in the world, a neo-Gothic masterpiece nicknamed the Cathedral of Commerce. For 16 years it held that title, a proud symbol of New York's might. But in the frenetic energy of the Jazz Age, no record was safe. The city's booming economy demanded newer, taller towers, and a new generation of builders was ready to deliver. This era wasn't just about glass and steel, it was about the men behind them. Men with egos as big as the buildings they imagined. At the heart of it all were two architects, William Van Allen and H. Craig Severance. They were once partners in a successful firm, but their personalities were destined to clash. Van Allen was the artistic, forward-thinking designer, while Severance was the smooth-talking deal-maker. They split in 1924, becoming bitter rivals, each one hungry to prove he was the true genius. The stage was set for a personal and professional showdown on the grandest scale imaginable, the New York Skyline. Their battle would be fought between two competing projects. H. Craig Severance landed the commission to design a new headquarters for the Bank of Manhattan at 40 Wall Street. Soon after, William Van Allen got the job of a lifetime, a stunning headquarters for auto magnate Walter P. Chrysler. And Chrysler didn't just want an office building, he wanted a monument to himself, a testament to the glamour and power of the machine age. The race had officially begun. The rivalry between 40 Wall Street and the Chrysler building quickly became an obsession that gripped the city. The media fanned the flames, calling it the race into the sky. This wasn't just a construction project, it was a public spectacle. Month by month, the two towers climbed, each architect trying to outmaneuver the other. On clear days, workers on one tower could literally look across the city and track their rivals' progress. At first, 40 Wall Street was planned to top out at 840 feet. When Van Allen's initial designs for Chrysler aimed higher, Severance and his backers announced they were adding more floors to reach 927 feet, seemingly securing the title. Severance was so sure of his victory that he publicly claimed the title of world's tallest building. But Walter Chrysler wasn't a man who took losing well. He called in Van Allen and, as the story goes, gave a simple order: make it taller. Don't worry about the cost. Van Allen, driven by his own intense rivalry with Severance, came up with a plan of breathtaking audacity, a secret weapon. He designed a magnificent 185-foot spire, a shimmering crown of stainless steel for his Art Deco tower, but he kept it completely secret. The spire was built in 5 sections inside the building itself, hidden from the public and, most importantly, from Craig Severance. The plan was so closely guarded that while key workers knew of the assembly, the broader workforce was kept in the dark to prevent any leaks. In October 1929, as the world was distracted by the catastrophic stock market crash, Van Allen's plan went into motion. The dome of the Chrysler building was completed. Then, on October 23rd, in a stunning 90-minute operation, the hidden spire was hoisted through the top of the dome and bolted into place. It was an incredible architectural coup. Like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, the spire was unveiled to a shocked city. With one final secret flourish, the Chrysler building soared to a height of 1,046 feet. It wasn't just taller than 40 Wall Street. It was the first man-made structure to break the 1,000-foot barrier. William Van Allen, the quiet architect, had won the war with a brilliant plot twist. For a brief, shining moment, his creation was the undisputed tallest building on Earth. But that record wasn't going to last. Even as Chrysler and Wall Street were battling it out, a third, even more ambitious project was underway. A group led by John J. Raskob, a former General Motors executive and a rival of Walter Chrysler, had their eyes on a plot of land on Fifth Avenue, the old Waldorf Astoria hotel site. Their goal was simple: to end the skyscraper war once and for all by building something so tall it would be untouchable. This would become the Empire State Building. When they heard the Chrysler Building had cleared 1,000 feet, Raskob's team sent their architects back to the drawing board, determined to leave no doubt. The design was revised over and over, ultimately calling for a tower that would reach a staggering 1,250 feet at its roof. What came next was one of the most amazing feats in construction history. As the Great Depression tightened its grip on America, the Empire State Building project became a symbol of resilience. It provided thousands of desperately needed jobs for over 3,400 workers. The project was a model of efficiency, its steel frame rising at a dizzying pace of 4.5 stories per week. The entire building was finished in a record-breaking 1 year and 45 days. On May 1, 1931, the Empire State Building officially opened, its 102 stories casting a shadow over the city. It hadn't just beaten the Chrysler Building, it set a new benchmark for height that wouldn't be challenged for nearly 4 decades. But the victory was bittersweet. Opening in the depths of the Depression, the building struggled to find tenants. Its vast floors were so quiet it earned the sad nickname, the Empty State Building. And yet, despite its financial problems, it was an instant icon. The observation deck was a huge success, and the building became a powerful symbol of hope and American ingenuity in one of the nation's darkest times. The Great Skyscraper War was over. The race that defined a decade of ambition ended not with a bang, but with the quiet authority of the Empire State Building watching over a city humbled by economic hardship. The Art Deco masterpieces born from this conflict, the geometric grace of 40 Wall Street, the brilliant crown of the Chrysler Building, and the towering presence of the Empire State, did more than just create a skyline. They gave New York its identity. These buildings are monuments to a very specific moment in time, an era of wild optimism, cutthroat rivalry, and stunning innovation. They show how competition can push us to do the impossible, but they also stand as symbols of resilience. The war for the sky forged a silhouette recognized across the globe, a visual shorthand for power, opportunity, and the relentless belief that the only way to go is up. And even today, as new supertalls rise to challenge the legends, the legacy of that first great race remains etched against the clouds, a permanent reminder of the war that shaped New York forever. If you love uncovering the hidden stories of the world's greatest cities, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for more. Let us know in the comments, what architectural rivalry should we dive into next? Thanks for watching.